you have a dog, you'll know that many of them love going to the beach. And you might have seen videos being shared online of dogs with disabilities enjoying their first trip to the seaside.
Yeah, it's the work of the charity Dogs4Rescue. They offer a home to disabled dogs from around the world. A lucky few had a special day out in Formby, where our reporter Millie Brewer went to meet them.
I don't know why, but the joy they have for life is something that we don't really see in regular dogs. All dogs love the beach usually, but these guys, it was just like magical.
For Lollipop, Odin, Clive, Laika and Bran, this was a day they'll never forget. Their first time at the beach. And it's well deserved. These canines have had hard lives, but they're now looked after by an animal sanctuary in Manchester who've taken in disabled dogs.
Sit! So this is Laika. Laika's the first dog we rescued back in October 2013. She'd been shot by a restaurant owner in Bulgaria, left her incontinent. She does a fabulous job of helping kids who've got some fear issues. She's our therapy dog, aren't you, darling? You're a sausage, aren't you?
And from the oldest resident to one of the newest.
Oh, Clive, come here. Oh, you're not good at climbing yet. 1 minute, let's pop you here. He'd ended up in the UK, having been saved from Bahrain, where he'd had tick fever. He ended up with such bad sores on his legs from where he was that one of his legs had to be amputated. But he's absolutely desperate and raring to go. So we'll be amputating the other one tomorrow, won't we, Clive Cloodles?
And Laika and Clive aren't the only ones who've had a tough start in life. Bran, originally from Spain, was hit by a car and lost her legs. Lollipop, from Ukraine, has always been paralysed. And Odin, from Bahrain, had a rare condition which also left him disabled. But despite their disabilities, these canines live life to the full.
He loved the beach more than anybody else, didn't you, Odin Woden? Yes, chasing those waves.
He looks very laid back now.
He had the time. I think he's still tired from the beach, honestly. When you see them and when everybody watches them, it's just hard to believe that they actually had such difficult lives before they came here. It's really inspiring to watch them, how they can just live in the moment and just move on and be happy with just what is sand, sea, anything that we give them, love. We could learn a lot from them.
That was Molly Brewer reporting, and we're delighted to be joined by Emma Billington, calmly keeping hold of Lollipop and Bran. She's one of the founders of Dogs4Rescue. Thank you so much for bringing them in.
It's a joy.
And they are a joy.
They really are.
How did the idea of a little jaunt to the seaside come about?
We've always wanted to do it, and then obviously there was lockdown and everything, and we decided, right, you know, enough, so let's just take them. So one morning we loaded the van, and yeah, it seems to have captured everybody's heart.
Tell us a little bit about their stories. So this is Bran.
Yeah.
Good morning, Bran. And this is Lollipop. What happened to them?
So Bran was run over in Spain. It's quite common. Was left at the side of the road, and eventually a nice lady, after many days, picked him up and saved him, really. So he was very lucky. And little Lollipop came from Ukraine. He'd probably been run over as well. We're not quite sure what happened. He had his legs amputated to help him get around, and there's been no stopping him. He's the fastest dog on 2 legs.
So I would imagine, like humans, dogs that endure trauma like that will respond and evolve in different ways. How do they react to being taken into care, to being loved again?
Absolutely fine. They're the happiest dogs. I don't know what it is about them. There's something, we've got quite a few of our disabled dogs, and they're just so joyous.
Really?
They seem to love life and accept everything more than anyone. I can't imagine 2 of any of our others coming onto a studio, being able to cope with all the lights and everything that's going on. And they're just, okay, fine. This one was running around the studio before. Hi, gorgeous, you're pouring me. They don't think there's anything wrong with them at all, you know. They just love every minute of every day.
What sort of care do they need? What extra care do you have to put in place?
You'll notice they're wearing bags and they've got some belly bands going on, because the problem is, obviously, they are both doubly incontinent, which means they're not really easy to home. They take a lot of extra baths, and we express them manually. What are you doing? And he's looking for a way to get over that sofa. Yeah, so they take a lot of extra physical care, but all our staff are so dedicated to them. It's 24-hour round-the-clock care. but they just lap it up.
They adore you. They're both
Oh, they
cuddling
adore
up to you like a
everybody.
mom, aren't they?
They're just gorgeous, honestly. I love spending my time with them. They inspire us every day.
And so that's the point, isn't it? This is not about trying to find homes for them to be adopted. It's not about trying to rehome them. This is just care, isn't it? And a lot of what you do is sort of, dare I say, DIY. You have to create some of the equipment that they need yourself because it doesn't exist anywhere.
Yeah, that's it. It's a learning curve. They're all very different, and we've got a few of them now. So, but they all bring, they reward us a million times over.
How do you come up with the ideas for, because you're having to build sort of bespoke bits of kit, wheels and all sorts of things, and maybe I guess these bags too, right?
Yes, he's borrowed Lolly's bag because we thought he was going to be in his wheels, and anyway, he came in the bag instead, so it's a little bit bigger, smaller than he needs. But yeah, it's just they're all different. Some have got legs, some are missing legs. Our other little beautiful boy Odin, he's got cerebellar hyperplasia, so he can move and he has got legs, but he still has a lot of disabilities. So we have different things like hoists and prams and wheels, depending on the terrain they're on. But Lolly loves everything just off-road. We had to put him on a long line because he's faster than any of us can run.
Oh, really?
Unbelievable. And he's just got a zest for life. Like, as soon as we met him, he just oozes that, unbelievable.
They'll want to know when the next trip to the seaside is, won't they?
not
Now they've had the first
surprised.
the first taste of it.
I think they thought when we were getting in the van this morning we were going again. They were like, "Oh right," but now it's like, "Oh fine, we're doing something else." You know what I mean? They just get on with it.
They just adapt. I suppose
Yeah.
they're survivors, aren't they? They've had to learn to adapt. Thank you so much for bringing them in. They're absolutely beautiful.
Nice to meet you. And
Yeah,
the
it's a
dogs.
pleasure.
Thanks
And
very
I'm
much.
glad you enjoyed the seaside, guys. It's a great place to be in
Worn
Formby.
out.
Yeah.